actually scratching a ticket. Can I walk out back?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that's just I communicate with that.
Not just ghosts, it's not just cryptozoology or aliens, it's all of it.
And what are we doing today, Matt?
Almost like Chewbacca. Like, you guys want to do a little beatbox fly? Whoa, what the heck? You're something glitchy tonight, man. What's up? Oh, Stan's Pretty Paranormal comes right in and goes, hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Banter with Richie B podcast, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, the Bigfoot show. What's up? We're on the P3 network, Get Haunted. Boo-boo. Go into that Get Haunted network, man. Check out all those cool-ass podcasters in there and give them some clicks and likes and happiness and check out some really cool content, man. A lot of experts that know what they're talking about because they've been doing this shit for a long time. So make sure you do that, okay? So I got a series of announcements to make tonight. First of all, we're going to get into somewhat of a controversial topic in my field. A lot of people in my research field don't really go with what I'm going to pull up tonight, and that's okay. I'm not here to convince nobody. You come out in the woods with me and have a different area, fine. You have a different suggestion, fine. I will listen to all of it, absolutely 100%. Because if you don't, you're cheating yourself and you're hurting the field. So, we're going to talk about structures tonight. I know some people in the Bigfoot world are like, structures, no, don't do it. But I'm gonna, because I'm Richie B and I don't really give a shit. So these are things that I find fascinating out in the woods that I don't have an explanation for, that I don't feel the wind can do, that I don't feel snow can do. I don't feel any of that's possible. Something for many years for me has been making structures, and for reasons. The Native Americans did it. Read your books, man. It'll tell you. They marked their trails. They pointed trees in their direction and snapped them all the way up as they aged in order to go to a certain area, perhaps for where the antelope roam. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's reasons for it. Water and hole. There's reasons for it. So if Native Americans could do it, and they wrote so much about this mythic creature everybody thinks is mythic, Sasquatch. They went hand in hand. They worked together. There's no doubt in my mind. So, and Native Americans will tell you that as well. So, we are going to dive into that. I got some cool pictures, some things that maybe we can explain, maybe we can't. Again, I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to tell you definitely what I found is it, and too bad, and your opinion doesn't matter, because that's a crock of bullshit. That's not what I do. We converse here. We have topic here. We have dialogue here, and we treat each other fairly. So whatever your opinion is, I'll respect it, and I ask that you respect mine, or at least debate in a respectful manner. I am really big on possibility of bringing someone into the show tonight from the side. I think I got a little delay going, just a slight one. I don't know what it is lately. It's so weird, man. So, a couple of things we're going to go over, but I'm not making my big announcement until my boy Wojo gets here. But I do want you to notice the ticker across the bottom, right? See the ticker? Catch me live on 2/21/24 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Paranormal Voice podcast with Dale Quigley and Michael John. They're going to interview me. Huh. That's kind of crazy. Pretty cool. It's always weird when you get interviewed. You know what I mean? For me, it is, So, no, I'm looking forward to that. Those dudes got a kick-ass podcast. I've been peeking in on them. They started 8 o'clock on the same night as mine, which I usually typically run into 9 o'clock tonight. Like I said, I've been aiming for those 90 minutes. Me and Wojo are here, so we're going to go for that. So that's going to be my goal. I do want to bring up, I'll bring that up because I actually have a thumbnail that Dale made. I'll show you guys into the show because I'm going to wait for that. So I'm going to get right after it, man. I'm going to bring my boy Wojo up. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my YouTube. Make sure you're following me on TikTok, Instagram, Banter with Richie B on Facebook, and all the above. See that shit? I guess that means like, come on. That means you've done it too many times. Stop doing that. So no, we're gonna be super stoked. I'm gonna bring Wojo in, and then we'll say hello from the side. So, hello from the side. No, I don't sing for a living, as you can tell. Boop. Who's this guy?
What's up, everybody? How are we all doing tonight?
Look at that's Wojo, man. Don't mind his hat. I told him not to do those things.
Sorry, big Georgia Bulldog fan.
You
But
need
I
some
have to go grab the merch.
You gotta get the merch, man.
I'll get that tomorrow.
you gotta get the merch. Come on. So here we go. Let's go. Sam's here. Say hi to Sam.
Oh, Sam's a gift. Hi, Sam.
Isn't she great, man? Isn't that awesome? She said, hey, Wojo.
Hey.
Hey, she said, hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
Whoa, I like that. Nice little. My para brother, what's up? The paranormal voice is in the house. What's up, paranormal voice?
What's up?
Sam saying hi to Sam. My boy Stiv Dog's here. What's up, Stiv Dog? Stiv Dog's my guest this coming Saturday night, by the way, at 6 p.m. on the Paranormal Show.
Yeah.
Talking about Compass of Curiosities and Unturned Pages. His two podcasts, one with Jenny Davis and one he does solo. And
that's very good.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to talk to him, find out some business. I like to know how people got into this shit. Like, how do you get into this? Because is it an experience that you had? You know what I mean? And you wouldn't realize how many people have had so many crazy experiences. You know what I mean? It's been it's crazy. You really can't. Yeah, if this is Dale, I don't know if this is Dale or Michael John because it just says the paranormal voice. But Dale calls me Para Brother. So I don't know if that's a paranormal voice thing, but I'm going to say, what's up, Dale? Take a chance. I'm going to roll that dice. He's going to be like, no, it's me, Michael John. Ha, got you.
There's Mary.
Mary, why you bugging? What's up, Mary? Oh, a little beatbox from Wojo. What the fuck is this secret?
Because it's Mary. That's why.
Well, I know, but I didn't know that you had all that in you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Andrew Senior, man. What's up, bro? AKA BDA cult member. I see you firing shots. Oh, yep. Paranormal said yo to you too.
What's going on, paranormal voice?
All right. A little quiet here. Little quiet here. Let me get it. Yeah, it's me. It's me, Dill. I'm over here. Oh, hi, Dill. You're my friend.
Is it Dale at the leg?
No, it's Dill.
Damn.
I know he's up in Canada. You're making things up though. Where did all my you know what's weird with all the extra slides and stuff? Like here, see this? Hang on, I'm gonna go. Oh, there it is. This is Dale's thumbnail he made for his show, right? Pretty kick ass, right? He's got all my Bigfoot stuff in here, right?
Yep.
So live 2/21/24 at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Looking down and crazy with Richie B from the Banter with Richie B podcast. Coming to you from the paranormal voice with Michael John and Dale Quigley. Back to you, Wojo. I have to do that like once every show because this microphone's in front of me and I'm a child. And it's like a toy. You know what I mean?
You do that out in the woods. You don't need the microphone.
I do that. I do that. I'm like, hello, Bigfoot.
Hey.
All right. So listen, let's get to it. You want to know the announcement, Wojo?
Bring it.
It only says I got like 5 viewers. I don't know what the hell's going on freaking Tuesday night. Get off your asses and get over here.
Everyone must be snowed out with their 1.5 inches of snow.
I know, dude. Well, I got like 6 inches here. It was a little, but it was heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy enough to like collapse one of my greenhouses. Of course, the bigger one, 20 by 10. So that's nice, good. Right? I couldn't do the little one over here. I could just pick up, roll into a trash bag, and throw out. No. Can't do that.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Sorry, I gave my psycho face. You like it? I was like, you know what I mean? So hey, well, we got a steady 5. That's all I can say. So I'm down with it. So listen, I'm gonna let everybody know what's going on, and it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna back this up a slide. You ready for this?
Let's back it up.
Oof. Everybody see this? This is called Scouting for Bigfoot. Charming Charming Fair Farm in Candia, New Hampshire. Now, they were looking for presenters. And, of course, I applied. And then, Bobby Lee went and applied even better for me. Because I'm like, hi, I'm man. Me come hang out with you that day. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, so here it is. This is the farm. So I was talking to the woman Linda. What they're doing for the first time ever is doing a Bigfoot event. Now, I've always been a guest speaker of a main speaker, so to speak, right? They would have me in their story, basically, and then I would come in and take over and kind of tell my story. And not this particular time. Oh no, people. I'm super stoked for this because this is my very first one. I get to climb as a featured presenter. And not only am I a featured presenter, like I'll be on the little advertisement and stuff. I said to them, have you ever thought of possibly having a live podcast from your event? And she's like, oh my goodness, that sounds really great. Sounds like a great idea. And I said, well, I think it is. She goes, I just have to run it by, everybody involved, And about 4 hours later, I get a text message saying, yeah, your podcast is a go. You could podcast live from this event, Scouting for Bigfoot, in New Hampshire on the 22nd and 23rd of June. My birthday's June 26th. This is my birthday present to me. And my friend Dave McCullough is going to be there with New England's largest Bigfoot cast collection. The Vogel brothers that we just interviewed last week, they're going to be there. Mike Trainer is a vendor there with his sticker company. It's like, you have to be shitting me. Like I'm in heaven, right? And I'm going to have my own featured tent where it says Banter the Richie B podcast. I'm going to have people right from the grass come around the table and sit down. Like, you know how I do things, right? Like I want to pull people off the side. And thank you, Dale. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to pull them right. Come here. You got a story? Let's hear it. Let's talk about this, And I have this kick-ass vision of like my table being set up. I asked, I saw all my cool merch and stuff's going to be for sale, like right there at my table. Right. And I'm not like paying to be a vendor or nothing, because I'm adding, because I'm a presenter. I'm a featured presenter. And, that's the title for it. I don't know anything else about that stuff. But anyways, so I'm so super stoked, man. My whole family's going up. My kick-ass producer, Bobby Lee, has a cabin on the lake, like 45 minutes. I forget, we figured out. And we're going to stay there and I'll just drive over there in the morning. You know what I mean? And then they can either the family come after me or whatever, but the family can go up and go see all the farm animals and stuff like that, and they'll be my guests and, with me working. I told Mike Trainer to get a tent next to me because he's by himself. So if he has to go take a walk and do something, my girl or somebody can jump in and sell her stickers. Like it's going to be like a huge 2-day event, 9 to 4 each day. Charming Fair Farm in Candia, New Hampshire. Jump on there and give them some love. You know what I mean? They have a page in there somewhere. So this is why I was keeping it a secret from my boy. Where'd Wojo go? Oh, there he is. So I'm super stoked about this. What, Wojo, you hear what I just said?
No, what happened?
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm only kidding. No, that's awesome, dude.
So this is why I told you, man. I want you to see about getting the weekend off, and we'll figure out.
What are those dates again? Was that Saturday and Sunday?
It's right there in front of you. It's Saturday and Sunday. It's the 22nd and 23rd of June.
Sounds great.
You got plenty of time, even with the new gig, to jump in on this.
Yeah.
And come with me. We'll walk right in the gates like we're somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Here,
no, but it's great to like meet other people and listen to their stories and
that's what I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome, man. That really is. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you, bro. Well, you too. I want you to be part. I told you, man, jump on board or I'm driving by. Jump on board or I'm driving by.
I've been on board, kid.
So I think we get a table, right? And I'm thinking of like having a little TV, like, and run like all the evidence on a loop. So when they go walking by, they can see it on the TV and maybe it'll make it strike up some conversation. You know what I mean? And then while I'm podcasting, maybe we'll get the Burks to come in and they can tell their stories or you can tell.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. So I'm super stoked. So we're going to put on a show and it's going to be pretty freaking awesome. So They have all these presenters there. They have 180 acres, and at some point, I guess they're going to go out and look for Bigfoot. So I'm pretty stoked. So I'm hanging out with Dave McCullough, the Vogels, and Trainer, and we're all in the same playing field. I'm like climbing. You know what I mean? Like that makes me feel really good because I respect those guys so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it means so much to me to be included in with them. You know what I mean? So, Yes. I lost power. I don't know.
Bobby Lee, can you still hear me? I think he's still on.
Yeah, he's still on. I don't know what he's doing. We'll just pretend like
Hey, I lost.
Richie. Nope.
I dropped him.
So anyways, folks, what Richie was saying, Bobby Lee is going to go bring some popcorn and a hot dog machine, and we're going to roll out the dough right there at the Richie's table.
Hey, Richie, we can hear you if you're listening. So we have a massive storm in Massachusetts. I just want you to know that. So he's yelling out to his wonderful fiance to see what happened. He probably thinks it was an internal problem, but I guarantee they probably knocked power out. So we'll do what we can, but it sounds like
That's crazy.
They can still hear you.
Whoa! Can you hear me
we can
now?
still hear you, Richie.
I know. I'm freaking out. Like everything just went dark in my. This is not a paranormal show. This is a Bigfoot show.
I was just explaining to our non-local audience that we have a huge snowstorm outside right now. So if we do get knocked off, that's what it is.
What the? No, it could have been something else because that scared the bejesus out of me. I'm not doing anything. All my lights and monitor just go out, and I'm like, I don't know. Did you hear me yelling for Jess? I'm like, yeah, I'm so needy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm still hearing you. I'm like, where you going?
I came in and kicked you off in case you said something you were going to regret live.
Oh, there's a lot of beeping in the background.
Oh yeah. Okay. Always fun and exciting over here at the Banter of the Richie B. Thank you for taking over and jumping in, Bobby Lee and Wojo. They got ahead of co-host.
Oh, you missed out, Richie. Like I just decided to like keep it going, and I just said that you're gonna have your table with all the merch and everything, a TV, and maybe like Bobby Lee will bring the popcorn machine and hot dog machine. We're gonna just give out food. And
Good Lord. I don't know what I'm sitting here just like I'm talking to you right now. Everything just goes dark. I'm like, and if you know where I am, you don't want to be dark in this area. Yeah, like a little
Cool girl.
Catholic girl. Like, anyways, back to the show. All right, yeah, go get ready for your show, bro. Thanks for stopping by. I'll make sure I return that favor. No doubt about it. Thank you so much, bro. My boy Dale stepping out, giving us the good word. So listen, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about some structures now that we've had that moment go by and the excitement about my news. You're gonna start seeing a lot of different advertisements and things for that. I'll start putting it up on all my sites, my links. Before here in June, I'm trying to get the husband of who's doing, there's a couple doing this, and the husband's, hopefully I'm going to get him on the podcast to discuss it and talk about his farm and maybe bring some pictures, stuff like that. So, I'm super psyched, man. And I made sure. It was funny because they were like asking me who I knew and stuff. And she said, I reached out to Mike Trainer, but I don't know if I've heard back about it. So I'm like, hey, Mike, do you want the ladies' number? So I'm like hooking Mike with her directly. And then Alex Petikoff, they didn't hear back from. So I text Alex Petikoff. So he's like, yeah, I got to reach out to them again. Thanks for reminding us. So I'm like, it's like I'm working for him, basically. You know what I mean? But hey, that's what we do, man. We're supposed to be doing this stuff together, Ron's in the house, man. What's up, dude? Oh, man, you missed it. All my lights went out. My monitor went off, and I ran around here screaming. It was great. You missed it, dude. Totally missed it. But you can catch it on the replay where everything goes black and you hear Richie B screaming in the background for his life. So yeah, a lot of fun. All right, cool. So we are gonna get rolling right now, and we're gonna start hitting some structures. All right, and we're gonna have a conversation about some structures. So this first structure I bring up, I'm gonna go through mine, and Wojo's got his, blah blah blah, and we'll just do what we can. until 8:30 or so, and then we'll call it a night, and I can play some Fortnite and relax and breathe. So here we go. So this particular stick that you see, parallel with the ground, it's approximately 6.5 feet up. So this is kind of what got me started with my Bigfoot rabbit hole, so to speak, right? Besides all the little experiences I was having, I was constantly questioning myself, right? And my buddy lives in New Hampshire. Yeah, lives in Florida. He thinks he's funny. Yeah, we enjoyed it. Hold on for your hurricane, troublemaker. Yeah, right. Andrew, you're right. You're right, bro. You are damn right, man.
That was good.
I was freaking out, man. Andrew. Oh man. All right. Anyway, so I come out and I have my kids now. Now I've been hearing all these things, right? And then I'm like, let's go get the monster. I say to all my little ones, and I'm like, it was 3 of them at that time. Since been 3 more, but so we grab little bats and stuff, and we're going out to the woods. We're gonna get the big guy. I got cool little pictures of them in their little superhero outfits and stuff. Like we're gonna go get the bad guy, the big monster out there being funny. And I get out to just beyond my game trail where it opens up, as you can see a little bit of opening here. And I stop and I'm staring at this tree, this branch that I know wasn't there the week prior. And I'm looking at it. So I start kind of staring at it. And they're like, "What's wrong, Dad?" He said, "Nothing. I'm just looking at this branch here." So I start looking around at the branch. I go up real close to it. I mean, it's perfectly level, parallel with the ground. And then I walk over it. If you look on the left side of this picture, you could see there's a branch on the tree that's laying sideways. That branch goes underneath the other tree. And then obviously there's the top. So basically what I'm saying is the tree standing here, and this is like this. So this here, so it didn't just fall and land on the branch, right? It was put in there. Yeah, right. It looked to me, it hit me that somebody had to place that there. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't fall perfectly parallel, but I brushed that perfectly level with the ground. So I brushed that off because I'm thinking, oh, maybe it did. Mother Nature's amazing. She does amazing things, right? But then I moved down to the other end, and that's when I saw it kind of intertwined with that tree. So then I went, oh shit. So I look down at my littles who are still looking to go kill the monster. And I turn around and say, "All right, guys, let's head back." Because it hit me. So that's kind of what started off everything for me. And of course, my adventures are going on. So along my game trail, right around the same time, I'm going down my game trail, and which is, before that, before you get to that parallel one. And this is within the coming days after that. So now I'm curious. So now I'm going out there more. Now I'm looking around. Now I'm looking, I'm hearing this or that. And it always sounded like there was somebody out there working. You know what I mean? You hear the brakes way out because you got a mile, 1.1 before you get to the Taunton River. So you got 1.1 miles worth of direct woods this way, and then left and right, forget about it. It just goes everywhere, right? So I come down and I see this pine tree right next to the game trail. And I look down at it and I'm looking like, what the hell? Well, if you look at this pine tree closely, you'll see at the bottom, this thing is twisted all the way around. Something took it and twisted it all the way around and then laid it down. So I'm looking for rub marks, for antlers. I'm trying to explain anything I can. You get that moment even with like ghost hunting and everything else where you're searching for rationality, right? You're trying to look for proper reasons that as a human of why, right?
Right.
So I came up with nothing. There was nothing I could come up with for any reason other than something with thumbs took this and twisted it around almost 360 and laid it on the ground. So I was like, okay. So that went on into my little evidence thing. At this point, I'm like 30% maybe, you know what I mean? I'm like, something's out there.
So Richie, before you took that picture,
yeah,
obviously, did you feel out the tree, feel out, where it's twisted? Did you feel the toughness? Like, was it like, kind of like a bad tree going bad?
Yeah, no. So what I actually did was I went and tried to reverse the twist. And here you could see the wood's gray. So it's seasoned, but it's not rotted.
Right.
So it still had that binding. You can almost see the binding fibers in it. So I twisted it back towards me, which was the way I was standing and the way it had to come. And I couldn't even move it. And the thing's like, what, 2.5 inches around? So it was still pretty fresh. I don't know too many humans that can walk up to a tree even 1.5 inches around and just twist it and lay it down. It's not easy to do. It's not, you have to be much larger, to do something like that, I think, and obviously strength. So anyway, so, I put it away in my collection, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny, I came along years later, I met Dave McCullough and I showed him that picture. He showed it to Cliff Brackman out there from Finding Bigfoot with Bobo and Moneymaker and all them.
Yeah.
And he requested this twist be cut off at the ground and sent out to his museum in Oregon. And,
Interesting.
and as you can see, I said no. So at first I was a little excited about it, but I thought about it, man. No, because
you get nothing like it.
No, I feel a connection to my land and I feel a connection to them. You've been out there with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I know.
No, we don't have moose. I've never seen a moose, and I've owned this property, Ronnie, with Heather since 2002, and I've never seen a moose there. I could probably count on I could probably say, I've seen probably 50 or 60 deer back there. You know what I mean? Like with my own eyes. I know they're back there way more than that, but so it's so dense and stuff. But no, I have not seen a sign of a moose. We have been out there recently and saw some big hoofs, Wojo and I, right, Woj? But I don't. Yeah. I still haven't. There's no record of moose being there. You know what I mean? Or in this particular area.
But don't be surprised, because we do have a lot of bear sightings these past several years. Yeah. All around. I mean, Rockland here, all the local towns by us. But if the bears are being moved around and just, like I said, moose, there was a moose running around in Belmont, which is 10 minutes from Boston. You could see Boston.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And my friend from the Globe was actually filming the moose. He's driving alongside. He's like, Wojo, because I do his route. He goes, you never believe what I'm like filming. I go, what? He goes, a moose. I go, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, you never know. I mean, but I think it's very rare you'll see a moose around this area.
Yeah, and I mean, in the area that this is located in too, you're going to hear about it. You're going to hear it through the neighbors. You're going to hear it from the neighbors' friends, cousins, uncles, roommates. You're going to hear it. It's not, oh, yeah, there's moose living out there. We all know it. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's big news. And even with a bear, I've never seen a bear on my property again. Owned it since 2002. Bear. This picture was taken about 6 years ago, approximately. I'm putting it out there like, and the bear that I started hearing about recently, probably in the last, more so in the last 4 years, to be fair. Probably even less than that. So and then when you think of a bear and you look at this picture, a bear, in order to do that, would have to be able to climb on top of it, I think, and press down in order for it to blow out like that and then fall, as opposed to just pushing it over. And they don't have the intelligence to where they want to do something, because I believe a mocking, I'll call it like this, you have to have intelligence as well. So there's a reason why you're doing that. You know what I mean? There's something there, whether it's a message for me, I don't know, but I see twists a lot, and we'll get into those. We got a lot more twists in here. So anyways, interesting picture. This one here, let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. So we just jumped into a rabbit hole, and I probably should have moved these to the back of the slides a little bit. So the one on the left is when I first found I call the suspended tree. 3 to 4 years ago. The one on the right is me and Wojo out last time, 10 days ago, say?
Yeah.
Approximate, right?
Yep.
So you see the suspended tree. It's about 12 feet in the air, maybe more. And behind it, if anybody recognizes it, that arch behind me is the dream catcher.
Yep.
So I have big time pictures of the dream catcher, right? That's an intricate detail, which we will get into later, right? But if you look to the right, you'll see the suspended tree is, a little more rotted, looks a little skinnier, right? Not as fresh. It's leaning down to the right. That's Mother Nature. I mean, things can fall on it, wind, snow, it starts falling, right? So when I first found it on the left, this is what I saw on the other end that made me take this picture. The other end of that tree was up and over this tree land, the other end of this tree was needled through that Y. You see the Y that goes around like the birch or whatever it is?
Yep.
Hang on a minute. And then the other top of it, you kind of lose sight of it a little bit, but it goes up over the suspended tree. up against the birch, and then so it had to. The suspended tree, my point is, had to be threaded like a needle, if you can envision that.
Yeah.
12 feet in the air, picking it up and sliding it through that little deposit. I don't see Mother Nature doing that. I just don't. But that's, it's my opinion, I guess. I'd like to call it a hypothesis because I've been out in the woods enough to at least have an educated guess, right? So to me, it was a big deal to find the suspended tree. But then I found the dream catcher in the back with an old friend of mine I used to go out with. So now here's the interesting thing about this picture, and I'm sure you're all looking at it, right? Now one's taken in the winter, which is obviously the one that's bare, and the one's obviously in the spring or summer. I'm in a t-shirt, right? So I look just as beautiful, just as gorgeous. It's just a different season is my point. All right. That's the important thing. All right. So in the background where you see the dream catcher, we had a theory because we would go back and go back and try to find our structures, and they'd be gone, right? And we're like, where the hell did they go? And we came up with this idea, and this, again, it's a research, so it's again a hypothesis. And we decided that perhaps they come back and ruin them, especially after we find them. So when we were out there last time, I couldn't find the dream catcher for years. I lost it. I forgot it was even near the suspended tree. So look behind me in the most recent photo, the one in blue. Look behind me. You'll see that broken tree right there, snapped right at the middle. And
right at your left hand.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're looking at the picture, it's my left hand. That is the old arch to the dream catcher. It is snapped and broken in half. And if you look at the trees that are laying sideways on each of them, right, you can actually see them just in different positions. Then there was a tree going up the middle, but that's broken right in half now. So that theory that we had and the discussion that we had about the possibility of them ruining structures after maybe they see us looking at them and they're like, well, screw them, Now, right. Now, I don't know what kind of a storm is going to take this bare ass piece of wood that's just a log bent and snap it. There's no way of another tree falls on it. It'd have to be a huge tree. There is no huge tree down on it that's leaning on it that broke it because it fell, and it would have to be a big one because that was a fresh oak that was arched, So we kind of figured out that theory could be possibly true, and it's something that I've kind of put down in my archive as something to watch for going forward. So when me and you were out, bro, right, we'll watch going forward. So you saw that with me, right, Wojo?
Yep.
And what did you think of the theory when I told you that, though? You know what I mean? I mean, you feel it's viable? It's viable. I mean, it's kind of.
First of all, when you first showed me the dream catcher, I was so weirded out. And when you sent it to me, and I'm zooming in all over it, and just seeing like everything woven in, it just blew my mind. Like, and now you look at it now, and to me, it's just like a disgruntled artist that just said, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to try something else different. So it's like time to do something else. And to see that break in the middle, that was even more bizarre because it's a thick branch, first of all. And second of all, too, it's, you're talking like over 6 feet. Okay.
Oh, that's up. Yeah, that's up there. I mean,
it's up there. So
it looks low because I'm away from it, but that's.
Like I said, when I first went out there, I'm just like, just being open-minded because, like, I never experienced all this stuff in your backyard, but I'm like, there's not going to be anybody going out there with who's going to walk around with a ladder, let's say, and start making these strange designs. And I'm talking about like the little like these like vines of some sort, or branches that it looks like vines, like they're just twisted and turned. And all I can just say is it's so bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. Being out in the woods all my life, and to answer, to see like certain trees break. I think it's Bexley. Is that Dale? Is that his name?
No, that's my boy Ron down in
Ron.
Florida.
So Ron, I have hunted up in New Hampshire for many years, and I actually have seen moose right in front of me. I spooked a moose, and me and my brother, the moose bolted, but trees are going left and right, and yeah, they do snap very high, but the tree's not going to be perfectly straight either, because most of the times I've been seeing trees like really bent down and what have you, or broken from towards the root area. But seeing this, with Richie that time, and in that picture, like above you, I mean, that's like a lock, and that thing is about 12 feet high, and I was blown away of just how straight across it is. And yeah, in this picture, if people look closely, it's just like the little sticks that are like, it's just like tied in. Who does that?
No, and it's not like there's a top hanging over it and you're trying to make a shelter. You're not gonna be able to lift it anyways.
No.
But just say, to play devil's advocate, that it's halfway there. Mother Nature put it like halfway there. You're gonna back it out, slide it in there like a needle and thread, and throw your top over it. No, there's a lot easier ways to make a structure with less energy. So with this photo here, I wanted to show obviously the suspended tree, but this was just discovered recently, that broken stuff behind me, and I had been here already 3 times anyways. Since this, and I didn't even realize that was the dream catcher right behind it, because I pulled out my dream catcher picture while we were looking at the suspended tree pic, and while we were on site, in order to look around and see what was different. And sure and lo and behold, there was the dream catcher, which we will get into a little bit later on also, because the dream catcher is too damn friggin' amazing just to kind of not talk about it, right? So yeah, the structures Bigfoot creates, these are from Markin territory. I think this is quite interesting. Yeah, definitely look for them. Now, again, everything's all theory. We're talking about a crypt. Like, people say, oh, structures this, structures that. And I'm like, yeah, but you're looking for something that doesn't exist, you said. So why is it not a possibility, or why wouldn't you include it in your research? People that I respect in this field do not want to talk about structure. Do not bring it up to them. They don't believe it. And that's it. And it's end of discussion. And I'm like, but why would you do that to the field that you love so much? Why would you do that as a researcher? Why wouldn't you open any possibility and look around you and go, damn, that's pretty, what is that? Like, that's all that's happened here. That's all that's happened, is I'm going, what the hell's that? And now we're having a conversation about it. That's it.
But also too, is that, this is not like the only dream catcher that is behind, Richie's area or something like that. I've been like seeing other shows where there's other dream catchers in other parts of the country. I'm like, who does that?
But that's the thing, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that because we've had communications with people, remember, in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma was one of them. And then I've had people now that I'm on these Bigfoot pages. One guy says to me, goes, hate to disappoint you, but that's not a lost ape in the woods doing that. And I'm like, I'm sitting there waiting. But what is it then? What is your theory? Like, what is your? So are you going to tell me it's the wind? Well, I can debunk the wind. I can absolutely 100% debunk the wind. I can do that.
Well, I
can do that.
Like with where the picture is now, and like we showed up obviously in the winter. And I'm looking above. I mean, when you're out there, you're also looking above and seeing if anything would land on this thing or whatever. And all I can say is about that, that structure being broken in the middle. It's broken in the middle. It's not like to the lower left, to the lower right, or anything. It's smack in the middle.
Oh, and it's snapped.
I mean, look, it's like an artist out there, and if you don't like your work or something at that moment, you just you kind of get angry and move on to something else. But that is a pretty thick tree. I'm talking a good 3 inches.
Well, it's probably more than that even.
More than that, yeah.
I mean, remember we measured that tree and was surprised it was 17.5 inches around, and we thought it was like 8. It's very deceiving.
It's very deceiving, but I'm telling you, it's just. I was like. I mean, that's a lot of force, a lot of force to do something like that. Like I said, I can't explain it, but
yeah, no. And Ron, yeah, it does at least raise serious questions. I mean,
absolutely.
You can't. That's a good way to put it. You know what I mean? Like, at least have the conversation and stay open-minded and discuss this with people. You know, don't shut the door on anything we know nothing about. No, I've never seen a goddamn Bigfoot in the woods over here with his needle and thread, dude, singing, friggin', whistling fucking Dixie. No, I've never seen that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying open your mind and don't kill the field. Don't kill a spot in the angle of this research, man. Don't do that. Leave it open until we know for sure. Because once we find them, we have to study them and see if they do this.
Right.
Correct? That could be lifetimes from now. But don't be closed-minded and shut the door on something like this. No, Ron, there was no big tree on it. And the other thing, people, remember, things that are shaped like a half round are stronger than things shaped like a square. So if a tree fell down, it has to be a pretty significant tree in order to snap it. That's the bottom line, because the smaller tree's just going to bounce off it because it's shaped half circle. That's just the way it is, man.
So,
right?
Richie, how long would you say that the base of that dream catcher is? How long do you think that
arch?
Yep.
Oh, that arch is 25 feet all day.
Easily.
From stump to little teeny. I'm going to show you some pictures. I got 2 little sticks on one end, and people want to tell me how the snow and wind knocks it over. And I'm like, with what? 6 branches full of snow? 6 branches full of snow and leaves? Come on, man. You need to come at me with more than that. And everybody, this is the other argument I get, and people say it. Oh, those are markings. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit. And that's the end of discussion to them. They're like, yeah, that's marking. Yeah, I know they're markings of some sort. Who did them, though? Daniel Boone? Davy Crockett? Lewis and Clark? Like, who did them? Give me something. Don't just... Those are markings. Oh, thank you. I just pissed on your foot. Guess what? I marked you. It's the same friggin' thing.
Right.
Sorry, did I get carried away? I'm back.
Nah.
So here we go. Ron, you go. Hello, Ron. I'd like to see you participating in the Banter with Richie B podcast. That's very nice. So are you of the school of thought that this could be Gigantopithecus? No, I am not. Or do you believe these big feet are an entirely different? Yes, I do. I think at some point in time, whether it was the Neanderthals and another type of breed that was crossing over, a missing link type of thing, crossbred, and then we have this. Yes, I don't think Gigantopithecus, because it doesn't think like an ape. An ape. Now, apes are very smart. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look at chimpanzees. They're smarter than most humans, right? But things that I've seen are just not. It's very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. I've had so many experiences on my property in the Bridgewater Triangle that it's so intelligent. That's all I can say. To proactively think like that, where an ape, if I had a Gigantopithecus out back, he would walk up curious like a wild animal and be like, hey, what the, don't get me wrong, these things are curious, right? But like a bear's going to run up to you until you go, bear, go, and then he turns around and runs or whatever, right? Or he's going to hear you and just run, right? This doesn't do that. This doesn't do that. You know,
and also too, Rich, it's I don't think whatever's out there doesn't want to be found, okay?
No, well, they don't like us. They don't like humans because humans shit all over everything. So that's probably it too.
And not only that, I mean, even the Indians talk about these giants, way back in the days. It's also in the Bible too, which I think it's Genesis 4. But all I'm saying is, this is out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
it's not like, hey, Rich, you want to go out for a nature walk? Yeah. I'm just saying, like, this is like in the middle of nowhere. I don't think like random people would be walking around, that part of the woods and, hey, check out my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
You stumbled upon it. It's like, I'm like blown away what you pointed out to me, like before and after pictures. And they keep building new ones as we keep going back there. That's the bizarre stuff.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Yep. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. This is the point I'm making too, that we're just scratching the surface right here, and we're gonna move on because I got time I want to keep an eye on, and I want to get to these points that we're making because I see the viewership going up and down, but I wish people would kind of stay.
No, I think it's great. I hope people have more questions
and see the end of it and how it gets tied together and why. Right. and not just go, this guy believes in sticks. So check this out. So here's something here that could be very logical, Mother Nature, right? Very logical. Straight down. It's got a lot of leaves, a lot of branches, a lot of heavy snow on it, a lot of wind coming in, right? And then there's other people. This is like a 50-50 one, right? This is what I wanted to bring into play. I didn't want, oh, not that one. But look at this. Look how fresh this tree is. Look at a binding in this tree. Look at a binding in that tree, right? So I'm over here going, man, how powerful of a wind should I have to knock that over, right? So I want somebody to come to me and tell me this. It's straight up and straight. Look at that angle. Woo! Right? But look at it. It's got a lot of branches, right? So that's a possibility of Mother Nature, right? So that's like maybe a 60, 40, 50, 50, right? Right? So I want to give you different gauges of what I'm thinking like. But then, like I said, that looks like nothing. But when you get up close and you actually look at these things and see the binding like this, how fresh it still is, that's a lot of strength, man. That's a lot of wind. Like, I would like to go to a meteorologist and say, how much wind would it take? Because remember, this is just this one tree in this area, okay? Just one area. There's one tree in this whole area. I would like to know from a meteorologist what it takes for one wind to come in and knock down this one tree like that. Abrupt. That's an abrupt snap. That's not that's a.
Yeah, because I mean, look, at high winds and stuff, when usually if you get a tree break like that, I think that the base of it would be would be kind of like on a leaning point because of all that pressure, But for that kind of force to snap just that one tree out of, a square area of let's say 70 feet, I mean, you would have multiple easily.
Right. And like Ronnie says, in this area would have moose where this one is. A moose could explain that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I didn't see any rub on it or anything from the antlers, but I don't know where they would be located. I could not be able to find them. So anyway, so that's the point of that one. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to say is that, what's that? Yeah. Right. Easily mow that down.
But, I've seen them, Ron, believe me. Yeah. They do both.
But
they're
again, you're in kind of an open area. I could drive a car on either side of this tree, no problem. And except for that left side, around that tree right there that you see the pine, you could go around that one. So it'd have to be from the tree's right side if you're looking at it. And not only that, I didn't get for depth or size. It's about 5 feet up off the ground because the picture is right there. So yeah, so approximate from what I remember, just to be fair to everybody. But yeah, something interesting, you know what I mean? Something to think about. So now we're going to get into a little something, which is one of my favorites, right? And I got some evidence from Wojo here too. Don't worry. Wojo was in all these anyway, so they're basically our evidence that we've been out on adventures with. I don't have moose where I be. I got whitetail and they ain't doing that. No. Big black bears, again, they're more of a leaner, not much as a snapper. They might be if they climb to the top and their weight's too much, then I could see them abruptly snapping a tree, definitely. Of that size, it'd have to be a pretty big bear, though, because these trees are pretty strong.
Can I just interject real quick, Rich, too? Is that I think it's great questions.
Yeah,
I love it. And I've been a hunter when I was a young kid. I mean, I hunted all over New England, and I've seen, like I said, the moose, get spooked, knocking down trees, spooking deer, whatever. But it's like I don't know, 85% chance that they're going to start leaving, tracks right there and then. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen like a broken, something like that broken and not see tracks.
And a lot of tracks that stay throughout the seasons. They don't just fill themselves in. Those things are heavy, obviously strong, heavy creatures. And for them to do that, they're going to push off somewhere, and you're going to see multiple tracks, scuff marks, 6x6 type. They do some damage. Let's put it that way to everything around them. You know what I mean? So I don't want to waste a lot of time on the possibility of that one, but I just wanted to bring it up to have this discussion. That's the whole idea of these pictures, is to have the discussion, right?
Right.
All right, so you see this one here, right? Let me see. See this tree here? Everybody got to look at it. Now look up close to that tree. There's a binding crack on it. This tree is spun almost 180 if you're looking at it directly to the left, right? So you see the binder, you can see the little bump up here, and then it kind of goes like straight looking, right? So it's almost twisted around. But I took the picture of the long one. I don't know if I thought I had a close-up. No, not that one. So this one here, but it's been around a long time. Look at all the peat moss on it. It's a very rare tree. A very weird. I've never seen one so covered. It looks like goth, like it's a gothic tree, but it's like a small elm or oak or something. I can't really tell the way in the condition it's in, but it's been around a long time. And I went over to it, and it's a live, living tree that you and I cannot bend or break, even with help of whatever twisted at 180 degrees. It has 5 or 6 branches at the other end that are very much alive. And I could never see snowfall being enough to take this tree and twist it 180. I just can't. I can't see a moose doing it. And if it did, I can't see it staying alive. Like the last picture, I don't see that tree ain't going to stay alive. You know what I mean?
How long is that tree?
That tree is it's about 40 feet. 30. If you stood it straight up, I bet you it'd be about 35, 40 feet. But it's perfectly straight, like off the ground level. And one thing they talk about, like I spoke with everybody about earlier, the Native Americans used to take these trees and break them when they were little and let them grow out. But you look at this thing, man, it's twisted almost 180. That crack starts down. Look at the bottom right. You can see the bottom right of the picture. That's where that's this guy. So, Winkles, I should send you a freaking link and have you come into my show. What are you doing? You want to come in? Yes or no? So it's like my best friend in the whole world. So down here, you see the split. It kind of goes up and around and it starts to wrap around the tree. When you get to the top of that line, the crack, it goes up to the left where that tree's like taken and like twisted. It's crazy, right? So this one, so that's the other one I have. So same. Oh, all right. So that's the twist, right? This is not a twist. This is more like we were talking about with the binding, right?
Yeah.
How it's put. These ones here that we find all the time, they're not a big deal, but there's so many of them. I start scratching my head wondering why there's so many of them spread out like one tree. You can see almost like an explosion of strength where the bark breaks. You know what I'm saying? But those aren't too big of a deal. But here we are again, right? So you go back and look how this tree's shaped. See the twist on it? Anybody got any comments about the twist? When it's more calm, just listening to mine. I'm calm. Just relax.
I've seen a lot of strange trees going in the woods. Like I said, that's
different.
I just think it's almost like it's grown to be that.
Well, like I said, I believe a lot of the belief is that Native Americans would bend them and stuff and watch them grow. Well, some believe because the Native Americans work so close with what they believed was a Sasquatch, that they learn things from each other. You know what I'm saying? So that was one. But if you look at this thing is more than 180 around. Look how twisted that tree is.
Mm.
And that looks at when it was more mature than the other one. The other one we don't know because it's so old that we don't know when that was twisted, really, right? So you come over here to this one. This one looks really fresh. And they're twisted around like that with a twist. So again, look at the length of the tree. Look at the 4 branches at the top. I don't see snow piling up on that, wind blowing in a, tilty whirl and like twisting it around. There's no trees. You can see all the leaves underneath it and how open it is. There's no trees.
I can see I can see the stress. Oh, it's stress cracks on the side now. And I can see, okay.
I'll enlarge it a little bit for everybody. How's that? I just don't see my comments when I do that, but I brought it up closer to the screen. Can you see that now? Follow the lines where you see the cracks in the tree. Follow them. That's the key. They're like a little spindle. You know what I mean? Crazy, right?
Mm.
That's a good one. Oh, so here you go, side by side now, right? Very similar. One's way older, right? I could see tornadoes doing that, but not ice. That's the key. See, that's it, Ron. You're getting it because we think of all the tornadoes and things like that. And, not a lot of tornadoes up here, as you know, and especially with the one on the right is very old. There's probably more rare for tornadoes than there are nowadays. It'll definitely twist trees, but you'll have more of an explosion in the area. Where one's older, I don't know the surroundings of that tree. The one on the left is much newer, and I can get the gist of what's around that tree. You know what I mean? As far as tornadoes go.
Yeah, tornadoes would have splintered them around, and it would be it would just like create a gigantic pathway. But again, trees are going to be like tossed around in all different directions too. I mean, it's.
Thank you for subscribing. Definitely appreciate that. The infamous and invincible Cheap Toy Man. If you got, he's got a YouTube. Well, he's got a YouTube. People, make sure we do what we do around here and we subscribe back, help the cause. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. Absolutely. So yeah, so it's just, again, we're having topic, we're having conversation. No one's saying Bigfoot, Bigfoot. We're just going out there looking for a cryptid, and then we're like, oh, well, what the hell's this? And then you start seeing them in different locations. You know what I mean? So the same type of tornado, I guess, landed in a different town. Yeah, we get them. I've seen. Oh, yeah, exactly. You see them down in Florida all the time, and trees will do. So, all right. So to help you guys a little bit, why don't you, Wojo, tell everybody about your friend that we've gotten involved in our tree theories, but without naming anybody. But you know, for obvious reasons. But
my friend's in the forestry for the University of Georgia, and you know, I showed him a handful of these pictures and stuff, and yes, he did mention about, you know, maybe like tornadoes or well, what's the other word I'm looking for? The microbursts, things like that. But the whole thing is that it not only like it's like like a lawnmower path, but the pressure when you have when everything's being sucked up, there's going to be trees all over the place. Broken ones being like, just blown around. If microbursts would just break them like twigs and scatter everywhere.
Right.
What we're just seeing here is, a small area of all, like I said, cryptic looking like things that I've been seeing out in the woods. So I showed him these pictures of what we're also seeing, and he's never seen anything like it. And he can't, he's just like really like baffled of what he's seeing because.
So the point to that too, though, is that we're not just out here, throwing shit out there. We're
reaching out to researchers. Yeah. We want the research.
All experts about a damn tree is what we're reaching out. The guy researches trees for a living, people.
Right.
He researches their behavior, what diseases kill them, what disease it is that killed them, stuff like that. He researches it. So this is what he does every day. He wakes up, the alarm clock goes off, and he goes look at trees. So that's the guy that we're using. That's what we do. That's why I bring in the Dave McCulloughs and the Matt Moniz and the Alex Petikoffs I talked to and the Mike Trainers and the Vogel brothers now. These guys have been in it for a long time. They specifically know certain things. Vogel brothers, I was talking to Tim. He's like 50-50 with his structures. He's an outdoorsman, so he sees a lot of things. But when I presented the hut to him a while back, he was like, I have no idea. Same with the Petikoff. Petikoff hates structures, want nothing to do with structures. He's like, yeah, no clue. You know what I mean? So let's see. So yeah, so we're not just sitting there going back and forth trying to have a talk between two dudes. We're presenting this to experts. You know what I mean? Usually right, and that's what you look for, Sam, is more of an area, right?
They're both correct. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Oh. Look at that. Uh-oh. So here's the other thing in our field, right?
Oh, there's Bigfoot right there.
Yeah. Big Wojo.
Big Wojo.
Wojo foot. Oh God, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I've been having asthma issues the last few days, so bear with me. So this here is now another structure that, again, amongst researchers in the field that we do have the conversations about. And like I said, some people just wash their hands of it and walk away and won't even talk about it. And that's fine. But we have a tendency of finding these X's in a lot of places. And if you go on a lot of Bigfoot pages, the topic of the X is continuous, right? And now we've been to quite a few places where we've seen a few X's, right? Already, right, Woj? I mean, you're new to this.
Yeah.
And you've seen a few X's, right?
Yeah. I mean, folks, I've been to 3 different areas with Rich, and I've been out on my 7th trip out in the woods and on all these 3 different areas. And I've seen the X with near Richie's place, but this one is a lot taller. This is a different area. And this thing is like, geez, about 20 feet high where it intersects. I've never seen anything like it. And not only that, where the trees, when they meet, what's holding them up? And, you know, it's like these points of the pine trees that it's just like perfectly placed in there. And I'm just saying to myself, I don't see scuff marks. I don't, you know, and not only that, on I think 2 of them that where they were blown over, when they're in the X, it's off its like base and it's moved
Backwards.
Yeah, it's like it's just moved in a complete different direction by like what 8 feet. I'm like, this is insane. So, like I said, I'm just like kind of like blown away of what makes these type of cryptid things out in the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's again, you at least got to have the conversation, right? So, and then here they are. Now here they are again as you go up. Now look up again. I'm going to try to enlarge this picture so we can get a good idea of the lefts and rights.
Right.
You know, these things are almost like on top of a branch, under a branch. You know what I mean? Like they're intricate. They're not just laying there and where the wind blew exactly the same way, but in 2 different directions. Long scent. Thank you.
and, you know, for you folks out there, it's not like
thank you,
it's
Mr.
not like
Vogel.
an X that's like doing this, like one short of the other.
No,
it is perfect. I mean,
that's
the amazing part. They are like spot on.
Long scent. Thank you. Yeah, my bad. Oh God. Oh wait, where's the other X? Where's my X? Oh, the big one in here? What the hell would we not have the big one in there for? Oh, Richard. Richard, do you have the big one?
You asking me?
Yeah, you.
The big one?
For my property, yeah. The picture of us on the you have it with me in blue, right? Okay. So we'll jump over to that in a minute. But no, listen, Tal, I appreciate it, man. And I value everybody. And you're an outdoorsman, you're a wildlife guide. I think it's important to listen to guys like you to have that explanation. And what you said to me when we talked about
exactly, Tim.
He talked about him kind of coming in the snowpack, kind of holding things down and making them reshape. And I see a lot. I agree with a lot of that, and I'm sure that happens in a lot of areas too, and especially in a mountainous region where Tim's from, where there's more extreme weathers. You know what I mean? Oh, I tried. I know. Ladies are different. Dudes just come in the shows.
Sam, I thought you were gonna come.
I know. We tried. That's all right. Thank you for contributing, though. I'm going to bring up your evidence in a second before I jump over to Wojo's stuff. As always, Sam, appreciate you. So I respect that a lot. And Mr. Vogel, I'll be seeing you up in New Hampshire, sir. I'll be working that event as well. Thank you.
It's great to see Tim on here.
Oh, see, this is what's going on here. Bigfoot Widowy did the Gwitty on those trees, in my opinion. This is my friend. Well, let's just call him Rambo. And he loves cheese, and he loves doing the Gwitty on the cheese. So just so we're all aware of that. So don't take him too seriously. Yeah, don't ask questions. Mind your business. No, just kidding.
Keep it to yourself, sir.
Love you, Rambo. No, he's like a brother too. So he's
awesome.
Yeah. So here's the hut. Tim, Tim had chimed in about this in the past. He was curious about him as well. And it's not the structure of it or the cover of it that has us all asking questions. To me, it's the bottom down by the stumps, the way they're bent, the way they're moved into position like that to create a shelter. That's what I mean, I can just lean trees over that size all day, and they'll, they might bend and not break or whatever, stuff like that. My problem is the angle that we're at. We go up and then we go over, and look at some of those angles, man. It's the stump is perfectly straight, and then you got a 70, and then it starts rounding off. It's just, to me, it's just amazing. And it has a purpose. That's the other thing, right?
Well, the cool thing was it all started with a little bit of a break on the what's that little road that we were on, taking a quick 5-minute break. And then now I looked to my left and I noticed, like, geez, why are these trees bent like that? I'm just saying it to myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking, I'm like, I never seen anything like it. What is that? And then you're talking. So I'm like listening to you. And all of a sudden you just happen to look as you're talking, hey, what is that? I just said, that's what I'm thinking. And that's when I jumped in the woods immediately. I'm like, what is that? And then that's when, to see from the base and just like being bent, it's like perfectly bent, but not like no, you don't see too many, fractures or broken. It's just like perfectly in place.
No,
and
right.
Realizing there was huts, like there was openings.
Yeah, and there was like 4 of them. It wasn't just like
Excuse
one
me,
of them.
yes,
And
there's
they
4.
were, yeah, and they were different. But yeah, Ron, to your point is, so a lot of this stuff is afterthought when we're driving home and we have a conversation, and we're looking there, we're investigating it, and we see that the stump is way behind, the break is way behind the stump, or moved away from the stump, and we see that, and you just don't even think of it. You just kind of move on to the next thing. But we really should start researching that in a sense where we're documenting it with pictures, which would be easier for you to see. But yeah, that is the big question. They look like they're moved. Otherwise, yes. But even the X itself, the way you're resting in the top is mind blowing. But anyways, yeah, absolutely, Sam, you're always awesome contributor here. We appreciate it. So yeah, so that's the hut. So here we go. This is the dream catcher, as you can see. This is the day that it was found. The tree up the middle. See the very tree up the middle? That's the one I showed you guys that was broken. And then the arch was broken right down the middle as well. And then all these trees you see going left, they're all laying down at the other end, which you saw above the suspended tree. This is closer in from the suspended tree. So,
but also too, like towards the middle, that is the, because you get the branches, right? But it's the tiny branches off of that are just like, that are being twisted around, like it's like tied in, woven in together. It's just totally bizarre.
Well, that's it. And you can't, pictures don't do any of that justice. You can film it sometimes all you want, and it's very hard to translate into a podcast. You know what I mean? So it's very hard. So the best way I could do that for you guys is, a few days after this was discovered, my friend at the time did some research. The huts, yeah, and I did some stories on the hut, so that's why I didn't keep going on. Make me think. Not seeing a weighted object making them all. No, there isn't any weighted objects on top of them. No trees fell down. I have a video that I'll show you in a few minutes. I'll explain them. So pulls out this book and sends me a picture of it. I can't believe what I just found. I said, what? There's already a book about structures. And it's a field guide to Sasquatch structures written by Christopher Noel, who's from New Hampshire. This is the 50 most common types of North American forests, right? So I don't know how anybody's seeing that, but I don't know about you guys, but it looks pretty similar to me. Anybody else? So yeah, so it's pretty mind blowing. You know what I mean? So that's when we found that in the book. Okay, that's the cover of the book actually. And then this is another common thing that I find in my backyard as well. This weird kind of stackings with
it's like pixie sticks.
Yeah, like pixie sticks. Yeah. It's very weird. It's very strange to say that Mother Nature did this. And where did they have room to blow around? I mean, we're literally literally in a grove. Literally.
Richie, maybe like one day we should just go in the woods and try to do something like that. See how long it'll take us.
No, that ain't happening.
I don't think so.
So So my friend Rambo, thank you too for your time in this show this evening. The dream catcher is epic. It really is. Did Bigfoot learn the dream catcher from the natives, or did the natives learn from Bigfoot? I don't know. And sometimes, on my very first show, we had a long conversation about autism. And I contributed with that conversation as well, going, saying, hey, I mean, if you're out in the woods, like, what the hell else is there to do? Right? You're not on your phone, right? Humans can't grasp this, and it's funny that we can't. You're not on your phone, right? You're not playing video games, right? You're not playing kick the can. What the hell else is going on? You know what I mean? No, the cameras. We've done this. I've done this camera game, and unfortunately, for me, I believe they are not just nocturnal, but they can be nocturnal, and those IR lights are like beacons in the night. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've gotten things off of it, but nothing really big evidence. So again, here's on the right, you'll see the sketch. That's in the Christopher Noel book that I showed you guys. The one on the left is my backyard. These are the things that I started experiencing, and that's how my rabbit hole was opened when I started getting into all this stuff and going, oh my God. So let's jump over to Sam's. Let's see what Sam's got going on. Sam, you still here?
What does Sam have? Come on, Sam.
What's up, Sam?
Sammy.
We should have another camera with like a fake, person in there or something. It'd be like, this is Sam.
Sam.
Sam. Thank you, Sam. Well, that's right, Sam. Oh, who the hell cut him? Oh, this is what she was talking about. See, now that's kind of weird to me. You know why that's weird is because see how it ends the break, it doesn't keep going. Right? Hi, Sam. Now this is your grandparents' land. And
it just looks too perfectly flat for me. I mean, it's
kind of weird looking. It looks like it's like if you stood that up, it wouldn't line up with the backside of the tree stump.
Or someone just cut a piece of it and just kind of like
her backyard. Oh, she's out there cutting things with saws and stuff when nobody's around. Yeah, see it. But yeah, see how it doesn't line up? It almost looks like a balanced log on a completely different tree. Isn't that weird? Well, you know what I would say to this, Sam? I always tell everybody, man, go out and get some, energy out. Go for a walk, go for a stroll, grab a friend, grab the spouse, and just go walk through there and click pictures and, look through them, and be fair to yourself when you look at things, and say, hey, is that a possibility or isn't it? You know what I mean? So no, thank you for sharing that. I get what you're saying. And I would continue looking around that area, to be honest with you. Then I'll go into a place and I'll start looking and looking and looking. You see all this common forest, like the place we went with Mike Trainer, right? Forever it was common forest. And then all of a sudden we walked up to this swamp area and it was like, boom, squatchy. Like you were like, oh shit, everything just changed. Like everything changed. It was, you knew you have entered a totally different area of that forest that probably didn't belong to us humans. Would you agree, Woj? I mean, remember the swamp area?
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, it was like, in the beginning, there was some stuff for that, somewhat explainable, or, maybe not 50-50. And then after we got in that swamp, it was just like, oh, now this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was just blown away of, it was just too much action.
Yeah, it was a lot going on in there. Oh
yeah. Yeah, especially not too far from that picture. That's when I took a dookie. I fell right in.
Yeah, you did. You fell into the water. That was
brutal. My God, that was bad.
That's the same X that we had this is the swamp area I'm talking about. So that's the X I showed you guys on my last screen. I don't know where my big X went. I know I have it in my evidence somewhere. Hint, 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 hint. Something in my throat. Save me. What now? Oh yeah, what's this one, Walsh? Where's this taken?
That was actually
that's out back of my house because look at the sticks on the log.
I mean,
look at the bottom left of this picture. Look at those 4 or 5 sticks. Look how perfectly lined up they are on that old ass moss-filled log. And look where you are right now. Look at it out there. And then that's the back of that other big X that we saw.
Right. It's like wedged in and all sorts of like crazy stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just unexplainable.
Yeah, it's nuts. When you're standing in the middle of these things too, as opposed to being it, if you ever, Mary, I've looked everywhere, man. You do about 2 minutes of like really scanning, and then you're like, oh, you're down, you're up, you're over, you're left, you're right. You're like, what the hell? But yeah, I absolutely have looked, and I have found, excuse me, on one tree, some suspect hair, but I've never knew where the hell to get it sent or anything like that. It could have been anything from a deer to, a raccoon. You know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, we do that. We try to be as scientific as possible and stuff like that. So this little structure here, we thought somebody had built on the side of the lake, basically, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
As like a shelter or something, but there's no inside to it. It's all sticks in the middle too.
Right.
All in crazy. Now these are pretty common. They say out west, out like the Midwest, Oklahoma and stuff like that. You'll see a lot of pictures of these types of things, and they don't know what it's from. But it's crazy. Which one was this now? Whoa, it's that tree.
This is the same area. Actually, it's when we first came into that area. And when you walked out underneath and not realizing, I walked underneath too. I'm like, what was that above me? And I looked, and this tree's like a Y. And what's bizarre is that the tree, the main tree, has got a little nub sticking out, and that is like perfectly like it's perfectly like wedged in there, and it's just a perfect Y. Like it's not slanted or nothing. It's just perfectly like.
It's crazy,
Y.
right?
Yeah, and I just found that weird, and I even looked around, checking, the other trees around that would, where it snapped off and what have you, and where it snapped. One thing I didn't do is take the picture of where it snapped off, but it was further back on another tree, and I'm like, well, why is it up there? I just found it weird.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And no, Ronnie, there was not a campfire anywhere in sight. No, exactly. Well, this is what I like. This is what I'm saying to people. Again, Wojo didn't come to me and say, hey, I think Bigfoot did this. You know what I mean? He was like, man, look at this. This is kind of weird. And then he explains his theory to me. Go out there and have that conversation. It's okay. You know what I mean? But this is what we're saying here. We didn't understand that. And I have another picture I actually have up on my YouTube and TikTok and stuff. That's right to the right of this. And it has a little tree standing straight up, like a little group of trees, I should say. And then it has these broken off types of pieces of sticks like this that are kind of set sideways, resting on it all the way around. It was very strange area. It was weird when we approached. Like I said, I thought it was like maybe someone's out there hiking with their kids and they're doing something fun, but there was no purpose for it. It was filled with sticks in the middle, and all the sticks were twisted back and forth, left, right, up, down. It was bizarre. Crazy, right? Oh, and here's that picture. All right, so this is a good one to enlarge, actually. You know that? Yeah. This is a good one to enlarge, because remember, I showed you that picture of the dream catcher, everybody. There's that tree in the middle that's broken. There's where that arch used to be that's broken in the middle. And there's the sticks laying off to the left. Ronnie, look around. You can't see any big trees that would come down on that and snap it. They're all about the same size. And it's just no way that's going to happen.
And believe it or not, too, that
look how broken that is, though.
Yeah,
that's snapped.
But to the right of where you are, like where that where the big tree is, to the right, which would be your left. I mean, that's when we found like more arches and designs. I'm like, that's weird. I don't remember that being there before. Like I said, look.
Oh, the one behind me. It's an X, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, look, I've been going out with you, and again, just keeping an open mind of what's going on, what have you. But that's why, folks, you just get out there and just put in the work and just, you know what, I'm still trying to figure it out. Am I saying it's Bigfoot or any other things? It's just, I don't know. I don't know who would do such a thing like this.
I mean, but these
are big structures. They're not like little, like little Lincoln logs we're talking about. And that's the amazing part.
Absolutely. And it's not like we're talking about this random piece of woods that we just happen to come upon. This is where I've had incidences for the last 8+ years. This is where I've had noises. This is where I've had trees breaking way out. I can hear it off in the distance. This is where I've heard footfall fall around and leaves scuffling around, and had a large tree break a football field away from me to where he ran up basically and growled at me. I have it on the phone. I've presented it as evidence. I've held up the phone. I said, come on, where you at? You know what I mean? So this is not just because. This is not just, oops, look what I found. Pass me that sandwich.
Right.
This is not what this is. This is an area that has believed activity. Some of them is an area like the one where the Y was hanging in the tree. That's a documented sightings. There's 2 documented sightings in that area. It's not just by chance. We don't just run up to these places and say, let's build a tree house. You know what I mean?
And like I said, like a lot of these
that in mind.
pictures. I'm sorry, Rich.
No, that's okay, man.
Oh no, it's just like a lot of these pictures you're showing. We're showing from like 3 different places, folks. And I've been to all 3.
Right.
So, and I'm talking, they're all miles apart. Like, I mean, a few hundred. But it's just, these are like different areas. We're seeing strange, in these areas, all these weird structures, all different, some are the same, but totally like, not near your area, Rich. You know what I'm saying? That's what's blowing me away. It's just different, 3 different complete areas that we're finding all these like different stuff.
And that's a great point. And that's what I try to say, that's why we called the guy out in Oklahoma when Patty Burke found the hut that he found was close to the one that we found out here. It was like a hut in Oklahoma and a hut in Massachusetts, and they were almost exactly the same. You got to have a damn conversation about it. And tell them about the smell. Actually, this is not a dumb question or a silly question.
Actually, 2 things, JC, is one is that except for the very last time I went to Richie's area, but I was like smelling the strong, like really bad, like it's like strong urine. And I never smelled that. I was like, what is that? And Rich, like, and you've been going behind there for I don't know how long, but you never smelled that either, that you told me. And I found that weird. But so a friend of mine years ago went camping. And this person was telling me how, one day she was camping and she heard like loud, things in the woods, like, like snaps, whatever. But her dog was really scared. And not only that the dog was scared, it was just like ungodly odor that she couldn't like describe.
Nope.
And she said that it was just so strong. I go, oh, well, really? Like, where did this happen? And she told me the area that she was at. I go, you kidding me? I go, I was just there 2 days ago at that area. She's like, really? And I don't know what we were smelling, like that swampy, like.
It was like some kind of piss, and it was like an old nasty.
I'm talking at the other place that me and you went to with Mike. It's like.
Yeah, it was rough. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we get that smell. It's not necessarily the wet dog smell that they talk about or the bad hygiene smell. It was like pee.
Different.
It was like pee. It was like an old stale pee. You know what I mean?
Nasty.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it does happen. It's definitely not a silly question, Ronnie. I agree with you 100%. Those sticks that were stacked up, because there was a structure to the right of it, I bought into it more. And because there was nothing in the middle of it that would say that it was a shelter, I bought into it more. Have anyone ever found an area that was dug up that may be a grave? That's a good question. So there's a lot of debate about the graves and the bones that are never found and this and that and the other thing. No, there is not. There's record of giants. There's records of giants in the earth buried. There is an area where they're starting to get more and more proven that there was giants. What some of these they're talking giants were human-shaped skulls, not the conjugal Bigfoot type ones. But a lot of people believe because they're their close proximity and friendship, and which they believe is a friendship. Some tribes had problems and arguments like they do with people. But a lot of the people believe that Bigfoot could be buried in ancient Indian burial grounds. So that's another reason why we don't find them. So there's many theories behind that, but no, I don't have any record of anything that would indicate a Bigfoot being revealed. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm going to get on to the video.
The only thing, the closest thing I think since I've been with you that we found was the deer shed,
which is more like a kill site, but not like bones. Right. I believe what she's saying is like a
grave, like graves or anything. I haven't seen anything like that.
So this here I want to go over.
Keep walking.
I was with Mike.
I just don't think so.
This is me kind of.
That to me,
look at this tree.
From what everything I've seen, is a placement. It's in between those two branches perfectly.
Yeah.
So watch this. Watch this. This is in the Noel book too, by the way. See it? There's no stump. It's a branch or tree with no stump. It doesn't make any sense. There's no stump. There's no stump anywhere near there.
No.
So, like I said, I felt that it was brought there. You know what I mean? So, I was kind of adamant with my beliefs, kind of pushing that. So a lot of those, again, that's in the. I'll do it again here, just so you guys can see it. I don't know if I can. I can enlarge it, right?
Another dead tree.
Oh yeah, here we go. There's an enlarged screen.
Can I just keep walking? I just don't think so. I think
this Mike nice and balanced, trying to get me to calm down and walk away.
Is a placement.
You see it? Look at that.
Two branches, perfect.
Look how high up that goes in between.
Yeah.
I can't see. It just fell, and then it's just. I don't know. It was just. And you look down bottom, nothing. No stump.
Right. It's just so unexplainable. It's just.
How did it get there?
Like that,
look like
how did it get there? Why is it like that? In the middle of the woods where, like, I don't know, like random people just not gonna
It's just the things that I'm saying. Again, I'm not trying to convince anybody, but I'm curious, and I've seen this stuff in books and stuff that's been spoken of before, and I happen to walk upon it. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna document it. I'm gonna try to say.
I'm sorry, but on that video.
So look at this. You get all these bends this way.
How far is like the nearest like a tote road or a path? Are you seeing this off the grid, or are you seeing it right on the pathways?
No, that was probably a good football field and a half up off the trailway, and that was down in the Middleborough Lakeville line area.
Right.
Way out in the middle of the paths and stuff like that. And we had some activity, very small, subtle things that could have been explained, but it seemed like there was a lot of odd, like noises, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah, that to me is, it was solid wood. It wasn't pine. It's leaning up against a pine, but it isn't pine. So all these factors I brought into it, and to have it not just like, if it fell, like smash, bounce around and maybe break one of those little branches and just fall off the side of it. But then to look around and see no stump anywhere, like it was brought there, or maybe there was a stump 10 feet away, but here we are. Anyway, it just raised questions to me. And then you go into the Christopher Noel book, which I was supposed to put that picture up, by the way, my fault. And there's one of those, and it has the picture of the tree and has the picture what I just showed you guys, and it has a picture of the two branches with the thing in the middle of it. So it's like exactly again like one of those pictures, So again, theories, but I thought it was a pretty good one, So here's the big hut that is in front of the small hut that we showed you earlier. This is the big hut, and this is going to be, towards the end of our show. But I want you guys to see this and understand where we're coming from with this, right? So add to the stage. There we go.
So look at this. You get all these bends this way.
Now watch where they're bent.
And then you have bends going.
Then you go to the left side, and they're bending this way.
And you come in here. It's an opening.
Now look at the twisty. That thing's twisted right around.
And then you get in the middle of it. And there's a tree break.
Perfect break.
Right in the middle. Yep.
All the things you find.
Standing up.
Now watch this part. When I swing around, you see the trees.
Standing up right in the middle of them now.
You see the trees like coming at you.
Bends all the way around. like a little
watch
house.
That's a great video, bitch.
Watch this. Watch
Look at
this. Look at a perfect row of trees. Look at them.
And there's a
Yeah.
twist again. There's that twist.
They're all bent
I
right at
showed
you. There's the twist, and then I can walk
Right.
right out. You go to the right,
There's a little
and around
open
the
right
back
here.
is where that other hut is.
And you come
Right.
in here. It's bedded down over there.
Oh, here's the
Look
other
at all
thing
the pine over here on the ground.
You see
Right.
that pine on the ground, everybody? Pay attention to pine on the ground. So you see that pine on the ground. I'm going to leave it up on the screen. All right? I'm going to do it large, too, so you guys can see it. That pine on the ground is alive. It's alive. And it, to me, is alive for a reason. And I went to pull it. I remember I went to lift it up. Like, well, this is fresh pine. Someone just threw it down here. And I went like that, and it didn't even move. Didn't even move. Nothing. It was rooted. It was rooted. So it's matted down flat and kept alive for a reason. So listen, if I could have a bed that could regenerate itself constantly, I would have that bed. Think about that. Think about that. Mind blowing, right? So, let me see. Yes, that was moved. I believe so too, Ronnie. So listen, I'm going to go through this again, and I'm going to enlarge it again.
So look at this. You get all these bends this way.
Pay real
Going
close
up.
attention.
And then you have bends going.
It's
over
intentional
here.
to
Going
me
up.
because they're bending
And
towards
come
each
in
other,
here.
right? And then there's the,
It's an opening.
look at the twist.
There's a twist off. Right
It's like
there.
just spun around.
And then you get in the middle of it. And there's a tree break. Right in the middle. And here I am standing up.
It's about 11 feet high. It's about 11 feet high.
Standing up right in the middle of them now.
Yep.
Big bends all the way around. Like a little house.
Now look at
Look
the
at that.
trees coming at you. See the bends?
And there's
All
a
coming at
twist
you.
again. There's that twist.
It's like they all had a purpose. Every
Right.
tree had a purpose.
There's a little opening right here. And you come in here. It's bedded down over there.
Yeah, watch the bed.
Look at all the
Look at
pine over here on the ground.
it. Look at it. You can see how it's matted down. It's matted down, dude. That's real shit. That I get excited and stuff. You get my octaves go up because I get so freaking excited about this shit. Because when you start adding all these little pieces with the twisties, with the bends and the leans, and one's going this way and one's going that way, they're not all leaning this way because the wind blew. They're not all leaning like this because a tree fell on them. They're leaning into each other because something put them there.
Those are like in all different directions.
Right.
And a few weeks after that, when you had COVID, I ended up going up in this area with the Berks and found another hut. Actually, another hut plus the stand-up one where people did pull.
No, go ahead.
Oh no! So, but the thing about those some of the pines are on the ground. Okay, I mean, you get the trees like bent like this, but there were pine trees that were literally pulled out of the trunk.
I have them on another video. I have them on another video too.
Okay, but I just want to make my point
And
that
they're
they
laid
would
down.
grab that for extra cover where it was green, and only that too, which we agree on that. I was surprised that on these bends that it's like they're preserving, these trees, that are green, not snapping them off or anything like that.
Right. They're
Just to
keeping them
keep
green for a reason.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not like you find any human activity, like Matt Moniz said in his brilliance one day to me. I'm trying to explain things away. I didn't find any ropes, so it isn't like humans are tying them off and waiting for them to grow that way. I didn't find any kind of like anything that a human wrappers they would have eaten or anything while they were doing this. And the one thing I didn't find, which I thought was a brilliant point, if it is an area for a human to hang out and he made it over the years, where's his fire pit?
Fire pit. I'm going to say, people are going to be drinking. Where are all the beer cans? Where's all the, if you're out there having a sandwich or food, you see wrappers everywhere.
There's something going to be somewhere if a human's there. We all know this. Even if they're an activist. And you know me, I'm very, very careful about bringing out whatever I bring into the forest, I bring out of the forest. And
but this is like about a mile and a half in the woods.
Oh, no, that's out there. That's out there, man. You have to be an outdoor, like a Tim Vogel or an Eric Vogel, somebody that goes out into the woods in order to know to build this shelter with the material, pick the exact right spot to do it. If you guys go on my YouTube, like and subscribe, because you should. I need to get up to 200. I've been begging you for weeks. Nobody loves me. Don't make me cry. Listen, if you go on there, you'll see it. I have other videos of this exact area explaining some of the things to you about the trees. There's no big trees that came down. It's a wide open top area. There's those trees that Wojo was talking about that are laid down perfectly in a row on a rock like they were going to use them, but didn't, or they're going to use them in the future, or wait for us to get the hell out of there to use them. Right? So the place, and that's what I'm talking about. It's packed with intelligence. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So I feel like we had an educated show, right? About a topic that is kind of taboo. But I don't really give a shit. I'm going to talk about it because I'm going to talk about every angle of this. And I'm not going to jump around yelling Bigfoot every time. You know, I'm not going to yell, I'm not going to show you a bunch, for me, blob squatches or anything like that. We're going to talk about things that I find, Woj and I, other people on my team find in the woods. We're going to have these discussions. We're going to talk about those sounds like we have in the past. Now, mind you, the area where those huts are where the Burks hear all those sounds at night on the recorders. And if you've been following my show, you put those two together, you now have two pieces of huge evidence in one area. And that just validates it, that something's out there doing something we don't know. So,
but also too, Rich, like, look, when they sent us, I mean, you're talking, the nearest house of where we're at is over 2 miles. Okay, square miles. Okay,
that area is crazy out
so
there. Yeah.
If this is going to be like my backyard, if I'm going to have a couple buddies and start doing stuff, I wouldn't just, I'd go like maybe like a couple 100 yards. Why would I? And don't forget, there's a lot of hills, a lot of valleys walking through all this. And in this, where those huts are, like in that swath of an area, you're talking about what, 100 yards by 50 yards.
Exactly.
Everywhere else we didn't find any more, but I'm just saying it's very weird in the middle of nowhere that we stumble upon this.
A very strange place. And we're going to be going back there once the snow melts a little bit, and we're going to start getting more evidence from this area. We're still waiting to hear back for some results for the poop that my boy scooped. We've hit a little bit of a roadblock in that, but that's okay. Not a knowledgeable roadblock.
It's being worked on as we speak.
It's being worked on as we speak. And yes, Ronnie, to answer your question, yes, there's actually a place. It's a public area, so I don't mind saying it. And it's over by Hanson Grain. There's a little walking trail out there, and I have found sticks way out there by the water. And they were across this way, and they were tied with a vine on each end. It was weird. I didn't know if it was human, or I've had some experience out there as well. I've had tree knocks out there. I've had a couple of whoops out there. I've heard footfall out there. Yes, so that is a possibility as well. And you're right. There would be like I said, humans tend to shit on things, right? Unfortunately, but you get a lot of outdoorsmen, like Tim Vogel. Again, I go back to him, Mike Trainer. These guys they leave the forest with what they went in with. But we are humans, and we do, some things might fall out or forget or something. So there's always a sign of a human somewhere. So it's not that everybody just craps all over Mother Nature.
Absolutely.
So that's not my point when I say that. I'm a little riled up tonight. I don't know if you guys noticed that. So, so what we're going to do, me and Woj are going to continue trudging away. We're going to go out tomorrow, right?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I like to go every day.
Well, it snowed out today. So let's go see if we can find some little tip-too somewhere. Right?
Well, I'm praying for that. But also don't forget, folks, that like us big guys, we are putting in the work, like trying to figure out, what's going on and everything else in all the areas. It's a lot of walking. And we're talking, we walked, close to 3 miles the other day.
Oh, it's probably on average 3 to 5 miles we walk.
Yeah. So
and you could tell. Good, Woj. Yeah.
Oh,
man. Okay. All right. I'm tired. Yeah. Okay. Bedtime. So listen. So if we find anything tomorrow, we'll get back to you guys on that. Thank you, Wojo, for being my co-host tonight. That was pretty kick-ass, right? Right.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. And thank you, Rich, for taking me on board and going out on these trips. Very interesting, man.
Yeah, I mean, and as usual, thank you to Bobby Lee for all her hard work backstage.
Bobby Lee, you're a gift.
Yep, she's amazing. And
Sam too.
You guys are going to be hearing more about my the farm that I'll be going to, and I'm I'm going to broadcast live from the Chops Fire in New Hampshire. And you guys will be hearing a lot about that coming up. That's not till June, so you're going to be hearing it. So deal with it. You know what I mean? But anyways, if anything at all, we hope we educated you a little bit to open your mind. That's all we're asking. That's all we're saying. Not one of us said Bigfoot did this. We're not that person. We're not those guys. That ain't the way this is ever going to happen in my life or anybody that, Woj being new. I'm not going to bring him out there and go, look at dude, Bigfoot did that. I'm not doing anybody a good service by acting like that. So, but I'm going to tell you this. If somebody comes to you with something and they have passion in their heart, then you have a conversation with them that's dignified and don't shit on them. You know what I mean? Have a conversation. Somebody tells you they saw a damn ghost. They probably saw something that they believe is a damn ghost. And you should talk to them about it and figure it out together and be nice to each other. There's no need for any of that nonsense. You know what I mean? So this is close to 90 minutes as I'm going to get on my show. So don't forget to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, like and subscribe. Tell them, Woj, like and subscribe. Let's go.
Subscribe. Buy the merch. By the way, happy Valentine's Day for you all too.
Yes, and get in the shop. Get in the shop and buy something nice. I think there's Valentine's stuff. Yeah, there is. There's I Love Bigfoot shirts and hoodies. Yeah, no, there is. No, listen. What's that? Because Rich
carries a big bat.
I do. I carry a big bat. So do as you're all told, okay?
Yeah.
Checking out the P3, baby. Thank you very much to Rob and Sarah for the platform that we get to speak on. The Get Haunted Network. Jump over to my boy Dale Quigley and Michael John's Paranormal Voice that's going on right now. They have another show that I'm going to be on that's not on the night of my show. So that's the 21st at 8 o'clock. You are going to see me on that show being interviewed. This Saturday night, I have Russ Stiver, a.k.a. Stiv Dog. Make sure you tune in for the Paranormal Show Saturday night at 6. Make sure you are there. Get over to my damn YouTube and start clicking and viewing it. Damn it, subscribe. Anybody else in your house better subscribe too, or they don't eat anymore. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good one, right? And happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. And of course, most importantly, to my love, Jessica. I would be lost without her. So thank you guys very much. And we'll be here Saturday night.